evening, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. My name's Phil. It's Monday night at 7:30. If you're watching this live, get your views in, get your comments in, and we can talk about anything you want to do with Leicester City. If you're watching this on playback, join us live every Monday, 7:30 for the Fanzone Show. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the show. Get your views in, get your comments in. Follow us at Leicester Fan TV, wherever you are watching. Fee, good evening. How are you? Ross says he likes the new intro. Thanks, Ross. Hope you like that. EKG, that's Elijah watching out in Canada. If I'm doing my things right, of course it is. Mayan, the Silver Fox, good evening to you. Rick, Nick, Hayden. Oh, it's like trick chat there. Maz, good evening. And Bazza. Will Steve Walsh come out of retirement for Saturday? Says Bazza. Ian, good evening. And Tintin, how are you? Ross, are you going to Wembley? I am, Ross. I got a ticket right at the end. Right at the end. Honestly, right at the end it came down. But I'm not. I said it on Thursday. I wasn't overly impressed by how it all went. But, you know, I think it is something that needs addressing. But Josh says, City to be humiliated at Wembley and Old Trafford, I think. Lack of urgency and creativity. LCFC, Josh, is definitely one of the glass is half full. We want to know, what do you think? We want your views. We want your comments. What do you think to Leicester at the moment? What sort of Leicester City are we going to see this week? It's obviously Man United tomorrow, 6 p.m. kickoff. We are doing our live watch along from 5:30. Jamie is hosting that show for us with Tom and Locks and Jack and Reedy, and all the gang will be live on it. What on earth went on Friday night? What on earth went on? Do we want to look back to that a little bit? We've got Man United to look forward to tomorrow. And then obviously we've got the FA Cup to Wembley. Whatever you want to talk about tonight. Madder's off form. Is he off form? Is he on form? He's not at his best. Everton helped us out yesterday. Thank goodness for that. Although I saw some people comment saying, if only we'd beat Newcastle on Friday, we'd have been very, very close to getting to the UEFA, well, to the Champions League. Question for you, Champions League or FA Cup? We keep asking it. I want both. But if you have to choose, which is it going to be? Which is the bigger game this week? Man United tomorrow or Chelsea tomorrow? Not everybody agrees with everybody on this. So it's an interesting one. And of course, we've got Man United to look forward to tomorrow. Get your views in and comments in there. We can get as many things in as we can. Dipak says, grab a point at Old Trafford to settle things down a bit. We're all over the place in what is one of the biggest weeks in our history. Dipak, you think it's that big a week this week? Obviously, you know, we don't notoriously do very well at Old Trafford, do we, if we're honest? I'm trying to think back, obviously, the year we won the Premier League, we got the draw. I'm thinking back to Tony Cottee scoring a winner, I think. I'm not remembering many big victories up at Old Trafford, so it will be an interesting one. Ross, I like this, says 100% wants the FA Cup because we can get top four anytime. Oh, Ross. Well, I suppose, listen, what is it, 52 years since we last got to a cup final. We've never won the FA Cup, so I hear what you're saying. Jason saying Man U making changes for tomorrow. Obviously, Man U played yesterday. They play again, is it Thursday? They play again after that. They've got 4 games in 8 days. What sort of team will they put out against us? They've nearly, I think, have they qualified for Champions League officially? I'm not quite sure. Patrick says he holds Rodgers responsible for Friday, totally through defence in disarray with moving Castagna to centre-half. It was an interesting one, Patrick. Listen, I know, Patrick, I think I'm right in saying, Patrick, you're not Brendan Rodgers' biggest fan, which is fair enough, but it was a strange one because he had Marty on the bench. He could have gone up for a like for like. I mean, I'm not saying Marty's half the player of Johnny Evans, but he certainly could have put a centre-back in there. In Daniel Amati. We were saying, as soon as we saw Evans going off, this was the watch-along before the game kicked off, we did say it's got to be Amati. So it was a bit of a strange one that he put Castagna at centre-back there. What do you think to Patrick? Do you agree with him or do you not agree with him? Nick, thanks, Nick, says, I want both, obviously. Me too, Nick. But if I had to choose, it'd be the FA Cup all day long, he says. I don't know. I'm a bit split on it. Obviously, I really, really want us to win the FA Cup. I would love that. But, Nick, Champions League, it's a big one financially for the club. Yeah, I'll tell you why Champions League is possibly bigger in a way. It will help keep players like Yuri Telemans, Maddison, Castagna, Pereira. It will help. If we get in the Champions League, it will help keep all our best players. And it will encourage better players to come to us as well. FA Cup, winning the FA Cup probably wouldn't do that, to be fair. Mr. Sunshine says, back to basics, defend, pass and attack. We need to do some of that. I don't know what happened on Friday. I genuinely do not know what happened on Friday because it was an absolute mess. It was like the Bournemouth away game last week. Keith, I like this one. Keith says he holds Rodgers personally responsible for us being top four. That is the counter argument, isn't it, Keith? I like that one. Mick saying play Thomas or Fuchs at left back is an interesting one. Jason again is saying one or two of the youngsters making their debut for Man United tomorrow. They've got to mix it around, and obviously probably for them top four is secure for Man United. They're in a Europa final which they'll want to win, get some silverware in the pocket for Solskjaer. Next comment in here, Phil, do you really want to keep Madders? Yes. Yeah, I think he's been a bit of a numpty this season for a few reasons, obviously with his COVID party, but he is an excellent young player and we want to build teams around Maddison and Yuri Telemans. Fee, what do you think, Fee? Would you keep Madders or not? I want to keep him. Yeah, of course. I want to keep all the best players. I want us to progress. And that's what I say about the Champions League, for me being possibly, I'm not saying more important, but it will help us. Securing Champions League for next season would help us develop and build again, go for top four again next season, which is what we want. And winning the FA Cup wouldn't really put you necessarily in that position because it won't attract the same players in the summer signings and it won't necessarily keep the players here. But as fans, I know we all want to have that lovely, lovely FA Cup in the trophy cabinet, which sort of, I hope that sort of answers you there, Sidan, with your question. Both is the answer. I'm greedy. I want both. We've worked hard enough this season as a team to get that top four. If we don't get top four, we have messed it up. We are in the FA Cup every season, says Ian Beale. Good evening, Ian. Champions League, we've been in it once. I think that's a big one to get in there. Ross says, I think Dewsbury Hall will place Madders, that is next season. I can see Madders going this summer. Where do you think you could go to, Ross, if he was going to go to? Patrick, I am indeed. I'm not on the coaches. I was right at the end when I got the ticket. I've got to drive. All the craziness of what is going on with this FA Cup. Keith says, and again, we will have to talk about this in the summer, we still need a top striker, I think you mean there, striker. Ivan Toney, I hear we are meant to be going in for him from Brentford. So I think he'd be a decent player. I like the look of him. So Mick saying, and this is what I agree with Mick, this is what we want. Keep the squad as it is. Just a few additions in there. Mayan says, yes, we do. We've got a young team. That you're right. We are. We've got a nice young team, and that's what we want to do it in there. LCLC, Josh, I've seen a couple of bits of that. I think it's just Twitter nonsense, but I don't know if you did see that or know any more on it. I think it was just an argument. Fee saying we're signing the Celtic striker, I read. At the moment, the transfer rumour mill is going mental, Fee. There's so many we're meant to be linked with, so many that, Leicester are buying this, buying that. I've got to be fair, some of the players, I'm like, who? I don't know. I'm not Mr. European football player, the biggest library of knowledge of that. So I see some of these and I'm like, I'm not sure. CK watching on YouTube says Friday mentality was all wrong. Evans' injury did disrupt things. It really did, CK. I've seen it before sometimes, that little injury, and suddenly everything goes to pot. But Castagna going in there, was that right? Anyway, CK says, we are more than capable side to beat them, but our attitude was all wrong. Rodgers' subs were strange as well. CK, I think I agree with you. They were a bit strange. What did you make to Brendan's substitutions on Friday. Do you know what? Sometimes I think we just have to be honest. I think Brendan would probably admit it. He doesn't get it right all the time. But sometimes when we seem to get it wrong, it does go spectacularly wrong, doesn't it? Keep getting your views in. Keep getting your comments in. Neil, yeah, that's what Fee was talking about. Edouard from Celtic are surfacing again. I could see that has been with Brendan before. Should we have signed him? I've said this before. If we don't make top four, which I hope to goodness we do, we'll be talking about at the end of the season that we should have signed him or we should have signed somebody in the January transfer window. Ross, is there a watch along on Saturday? Of sorts, Ross. It's going to be chaotic because we've got people all over the place on Saturday. Hopefully, Ross, you're going to be down at the Blues Bar for us reporting from there. There's news for you, Ross. You didn't know you were going to do that yet. Gary says, and again, most of you, I think the FA Cup's the big game this week. But Gary, I totally hear what Gary's saying, and I'm sort of with him because Gary says tomorrow's game is bigger than the FA Cup final. It's without a shadow of a doubt, Gary, it's worth a hell of a lot more money. And my opinion is it would help bring in better players. I want them both, though. I want us to get Champions League and I want us to get FA Cup win as well. Patrick saying, what's Pratt done wrong? I was watching some highlights of Dennis Pratt earlier and I thought, what? Dennis Pratt is playing for Belgium and he plays in that role there. He makes their national side. And I do wonder, Patrick, why he doesn't quite get into the Leicester side because I really rate him. And I think he plays well with Yuri Telemans as well because I think he allows Telemans to go a little bit more progressive and a bit further forward. I think when you have Maddison and Telemans, I like the fact that Dennis Pratt is that glue there. I do like him. Mr. Singh says, Mark Harrison told me to tune into Leicester Fan TV. Big shout out to him. That's Mark Harrison, who often comes on our live watch-alongs from Norfolk. Phil, I don't see how we can accommodate 3 strikers. We'll have to play 2 up front then. That will affect Barnes. Are you talking about signing another striker? Because if it's something we do need, I think we do need to sign a striker. For a start, Jamie Vardy is not going to be around forever. So let's start to think about that transition. And I also think there's times where, you'll shoot me for it, but possibly if Jamie Vardy, he does a lot for the team, but having another striker waiting and chomping on the bench to come on would certainly keep people on their toes in there. Soumaine, am I saying that right, from Lille is supposedly done. 30 million, looks like a cracking player. There's so many supposedly done. We're supposedly signed Ivan Toney. I've read that one. Edouard, again, is surfacing. So, Terry, this is. I slightly think this. I agree with Terry slightly. Do you agree with what Terry's saying there? He says, I think Telemans is not as good when Maddison plays. I think Telemans was really playing well when Maddison was out. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Telemans having a bit more responsibility, a bit more freedom to go further forward. When he plays with somebody like, Dennis Pratt was out sort of similar time as Madders. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? But I get this feeling that Telemans plays better when Maddison's not in there. Do you agree with Terry and what I'm sort of saying in there? Mr. Sunshine is saying he'd have Tavares over Maddison tomorrow. I don't think Maddison's quite fit either, which has a big issue for them. Pete saying Vardy is on the decline. I think Vardy's being asked to play, Pete, in a strange... Well, he's playing more out on the wing. Jamie Vardy's sort of been moved out onto the wing a little bit more, and it's a different position for him. I think he's doing really, really well, and he's obviously created some goals, but when he's had that chance in front of goal, especially against Newcastle again, fluffed his lines. But, hey, it'll come for him. He'll probably score the winner in the cup final. John O. Towers says another 2 strikers would be ideal for me. That's being a bit greedy, John O. 2 more? Go on then, name them, John. Name them. Who would you have? I don't expect us to win all these games, says Christian, but in every single one of them, I just want us to play well and fight until the end and show passion to get this Champions League qualification. I agree. Listen, if it was one thing in the Newcastle game, you could probably argue the last 10 or 15 minutes, we actually showed a bit, but it was a little bit too little and a bit too late, wasn't it? We did have a chance we had a chance to get a third goal, and if we'd have just got that, a miracle could have happened. Imtiaz, good evening. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Imtiaz, bigger game this week. I want your views. Man United or the FA Cup final. Get involved with the conversation, Imtiaz. Let me know. Neil agrees. This is what I'm saying. I like Tielemans and I like Pratt together. I'm not being anti-Maddison because can you get all three of them in together? It's difficult, isn't it? And, you know, if Madders isn't fit, I just think if he's not quite fit, I mean, it was strange. Brendan sort of said Ricardo Pereira's not fully fit until the summer. So I'm a bit like, well, don't start him then. You know, I've also heard him say things like Maddison's not quite back to full fitness. Well, let's play people who are fully fit, maybe. Don't forget, we are giving away... I'm going the wrong way. We're giving away this shirt. We've already picked the winner, so I can't add anybody in. I'm going to reveal who it is right at the end of the show. So we have picked a winner, and I'll put their name up right at the end. Peter, all right, lad. Yeah, I'm all right. How are you, Peter? What's your views on this week's football? Terry says we won't show as much respect to United tomorrow as we usually do after the cup win. I agree. And no Maguire, is he? He's injured. Yuri has more freedom when Madders doesn't play. Ross, this is the thing, isn't it? With Madders in, he holds back a bit. I think Yuri does. I think he does. Jono, thank you, Jono's replying to my question. He'd love to sign Malin from PSV, very Vardy style, and Edouard or Tony. I think Vardy next season will be impact sub. You could be right. That could be where Jamie Vardy ends up, isn't it? As that person on the bench. What a great player to have on a bench. An older Jamie Vardy would be for a 15, 20-minute cameo role. Trying to think of strikers we've had in the past who would come on and give... I mean, you guys, tell me, what strikers have we had in the past where you think, you'll get 20 minutes out of them at the end and they'll do all right for you? Name some of those strikers and let's see who we can get in there. Daniel says, do we think there's any bad blood in the camp regarding the COVID breach? Daniel, I think that's a great question. And I'm going to be honest, I don't have the answer. I did hear, I think as many of you did, I did hear that there was a bit of a bust up after it all, but hopefully they've put that to bed now. Imtiaz says he agrees with Dipak. The FA Cup final is the bigger game, but Man United is the more important one. I see where you're going with that. I think a fully fit Thomas is better than a half-fit Pereira, and he did well when he came on Friday. It's going to be interesting tomorrow. We've got a game on Tuesday against Man United, away, tough. We've got a game on Saturday, FA Cup final. Come on then, I want you to answer. Which do you put your very strongest team out for? Do you save anybody tomorrow for Saturday? There's chat, by the way, that Evans could be back for Saturday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because, boy, did we miss Johnny Evans on Friday. I know. I think it was the last minute change, but Johnny Evans just making you realise how much he makes Soyuncu and Fofana and Harry Maguire before that look half the players they are, honestly. Christian says, John O'Tales, yeah, Ian Marshall, the ultimate City Impact sub. Certainly, that's a great shout. Other Impact subs, I want to know. Jim Melrose back in the day, early 80s, he used to come on and get you a goal. He was a good one, Jim Melrose. If Youngie or Gary Lineker didn't score. Christian says, all or nothing tomorrow. Losing basically hurts our hopes and winning basically secures it. And listen, a point tomorrow away at Man United in the scheme of a season is a great point. It just feels like we could do with more. Who are you more worried about? West Ham? I don't think Everton can really get in it, or can they? Or Liverpool? Are you worried about Liverpool? They've got a game in hand. If they win that, they're 3 points behind us with 3 games to go. Is it Liverpool you're worried about, or is it West Ham? Get your views in, get your comments in. Neil says a full team tomorrow. Most of the players are relatively young and should be able to cope. I agree with that. Ross says, I like from original Jamie, if you can't win, don't lose. Talk about tomorrow nights. Hope we don't set up and try and get a point. Disaster, says Daniel. Yeah, let's not play for points. I tell you what, do you know what I'm gutted about, Daniel, as well? I can't even watch tomorrow's game because they've changed the blooming times. I've changed what I'm doing for work tomorrow. So I'm in South London tomorrow. So I'll be driving home and having to listen to it on the radio. Hey, don't worry about us fans, just changing matches left, right and centre. Neil says Liverpool are the biggest dangers for me. I think this is the thing. Liverpool just coming up on the rails have been that bad at times this season. You just think the Scousers are going to come in right in the last few games. It's in Leicester's hands, Neil. Locks keep saying this. We have a content team chat, and Locks keep saying it's in our hands. It is in our hand. It is in our hands. Always bring the mighty Ian Ormondroyd on for a goal. He was like a young Crouch. The mighty O. Big Sticks. Used to love Ormondroyd, Keith. That's a great shout. Any other super subs from Leicester City's times? Yeah. What Bazza says, Liverpool's game in hand, is it United? I guess it must be, because that was the game that was cancelled. Ian saying Liverpool biggest danger and need to drop points against Man United when they play them. Stevie Toon says, looks like it will go down to the last game v Spurs. You know it, Tooney. You know it will do. Oh, dear. And fans will be at the King Power to watch it. So there's no away fans. So Leicester fans who get tickets, don't forget you can apply for them now. Again, I don't think the club's been brilliant at communicating some of this, but I believe if you didn't get tickets to the Wembley final as a season ticket holder, you can now go into the ballot. And I think it's only open till maybe Wednesday, I think, the 13th. So if you've not got tickets for Wembley, you're a season ticket holder in particular, or remember, 90% of the home tickets for the Spurs game are going to season ticket holders. So get your name in that ballot. 10% are going to members. So if you're a member, get your name in that ballot. Now, go and log on. Perhaps you've not seen it, because a bit like the Wembley tickets, it was all a bit shrouded in mystery. But those Spurs home tickets, we need as many Leicester fans in there as possible to cheer the lads on, because, as Steve Toon says, it is going to be a big one. Ian Beale says, Man United will have a say on who gets top four in the next 48 hours. Playing Liverpool and Leicester City. Yeah, I think, are they playing Liverpool on Thursday, Ian? Call you Ian, it's clearly not. Joanna, oh, what a name. A super sub. Rooster. As soon as you say Rooster, I think of Blackburn away, where we scored 1-0. It never touched his hand, ref, honestly, in that big top-of-the-table clash where we needed to win. I remember being up at Blackburn, on the standing behind the goal. It was so misty. What a day that was. Rooster Russell. Oh, love him. Get Champions League, says Ivan. Hope you're well, Ivan. Says players will be coming. They are waiting our outcome. This is what I'm saying, Ivan. The Champions League spot gets you better players. Long term for the club, the Champions League, I think, is the bigger game. It's not necessarily the game I want to win more, because I want to win them both, but it does help bring in better players. Ross says, oh, yeah, Ian saying, yes, they play us tomorrow and Liverpool on Thursday, so they will likely rotate versus us. Thank you for that, Ian. Arne Gunnar can't pronounce his name. Gunnar Larsson. Yeah, he scored. He was the hair-receding Icelandic player we had for a while, didn't we? He did all right for a little while. Don't quite remember him too much, but he did play a bit, didn't he? Yes, he's got no hair. We don't care. Rooster Russell. Exactly. What a song that was. What a player Rooster Russell was. What a player we should have. We tried to find him. There's a few ex-players we've tried to find to get on here, and believe it or not, I finally got hold of the one and only Sir Tony James's. I got his mobile number. Honestly, I've got Tony James's mobile number. I keep texting him saying it's Phil from Leicester Fan TV. If you don't know who Tony James is, because you're too young, that's fair enough. But go back and look. Not much on YouTube. There's one clip, but he stopped us getting down to League One back in, I don't know, 93. I can't remember the year. Anyway, Tony James, I keep texting him. He doesn't reply. But I'm like, but I've been told it is definitely his mobile number. Chappers, how are you, mate? Hope you're well. Chappers, are you going on Saturday? or are you going to the Spurs game? Which one are you going to? Let us know. Ross says Tony James 1-0. Sean, I don't know what Sean wants me to answer. I'm trying to look at the comments. So let me know what it is. Do you think we'll persist with a 3-5-2 next season? I think that seems to be what Brendan likes. So, yeah, I think he is. To be fair, we probably persisted with it on Friday when we had Evans injured. Perhaps we should have switched to a 4-4-2 quicker. Dara says he was there against Oxford United. Somehow we've got on to Tony James chit-chat. Paul says, got to go Champions League spot, but cup win would be nice. Not everybody's saying FA Cup. Paul's there. A few of the others were saying in there. It's going to be really interesting. Chappers, it says he's going to a studio Saturday in London. Yes, brilliant. Well done, Chappers. Enjoy the day down there. Ross saying, Chappers, are you spraying your hair blue on Saturday? Ross wants everybody. Ross, you've still not sent me a photo of you with yours in there. Imtiaz says 2 wins this week, and imagine how upbeat and positive we'll all be come this Sunday. Now, listen, Ivan's saying these are super subs. Super subs. Ormondroid, Linux, Tommy Smith. I can't remember Tommy Smith. My brain's gone there, Ivan. Name rings a bell, but I can't remember it. Listen, we've got to do this. I keep going the wrong way. This Wembley shirt, thanks to our guys, our pals at ADT Taxis and to Everard's, I can announce who the winner is. If only I could have a drum roll, please. Somebody give us a drum roll. But the winner is Rob Haskins. Well played to Rob Haskins. You have won this Leicester City shirt with Wembley 21 printed on it. So well done to Rob there. Thanks to, honestly, we probably had a couple of thousand entries. It was brilliant. So really, really appreciate that. So well done to Rob. Thanks for everybody who's entered. Mick, as ever, fixed. It's a fixed. Of course it's a fix, Mick. Of course it's not. We pull a name out the hat. So well done to Rob in there. Tommy Wright says Keith. Tommy Wright wasn't a super sub. He was a super starter. Keith, I agree in there. Dara's saying we need the FA Cup needed for domestic trophy cabinet. If we get that, if we get the FA Cup, we've got the League Cup, we've got the Premier League title, we've got the old First Division title, and we've got the League One title. The only one really left is, which we never want to get the full set. We never want a League Two Cup. So I hear what you're saying, Dara. I think most people, if we put it in there, Ian, how dare you? We're about to finish and you spoil it with that. I thought of Kermagant when I saw Aguero's penalty on Saturday. And it reminded me straight away of Cardiff away, Jan Kermagant penalty shootout. Oh dear, indeed. James Hill, come on, Leicester, we can do that. Thank you so much. Do you think we can do it? I think we can. Now, listen, what have we got coming up this week on Leicester Fan TV? Thanks, Phil. They've got some great people watching. This week, we have got our watch-along tomorrow live at 5:30. But before that, every lunchtime this week, Jack is doing the road to Wembley. So Jack is live every day about lunchtime, chatting with you about news and everything leading up to Saturday's big game at Wembley. So that's every lunchtime live this week with Jack. Tomorrow night, the watch-along, Jamie's hosting it from 5:30 p.m. We start the game at 6. Join us before, during, and after the game tomorrow. Then Jack is back. He's a busy boy, Jack. He's back on Wednesday night with Ross. Looking back at the Man United game and also looking forward, of course, to Saturday. Lox is here on Friday evening with Josh. Night before, who's going to be able to sleep? Not many of us. And then, obviously, on Saturday, we are going to be live all over the place. We've got Jackie's going down on the buses. I'm driving down. Tom's getting down there. We've got Jamie from the Fox's Arms out there in Spain watching it there. Lox is hopefully joining us from back in Leicester. Ross, Mark, all the usual gang. And you, most importantly, hopefully will be joining us on Saturday. Don't forget, wherever you're watching us, follow us at Leicester Fan TV. And please do like and share our videos. We really appreciate it. Thanks as ever to these guys for helping us bring you the content. If you run a business in Leicester and want to get your name up behind us and around us, get in touch. We're more than happy to chat. Imtiaz says, a win for Leicester tomorrow night would be nice. Aid get for Wednesday for us Muslim foxes. Indeed, Imtiaz. Roy Cropper. If only that was the real Roy Cropper, that would be absolutely beautiful. But I can't see it at all. I'll be doing FA Cup. It's a knockout, says Keith. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks. Kane's already off. And Roy says, Roy's Rolls, I'll message you. We'll talk business. Thanks, Roy. Get your name up here, Roy's Rolls. Listen, from everybody at Leicester Fan TV, join Jack tomorrow at lunchtime for more chat. Come and join Jamie and all the gang tomorrow night for a watch-along. I'll be listening from the car on the way home from work because they've changed the flipping time. Anyway, from me, Phil, see you soon.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. With special thanks to our pals at ADT Taxis, Feed Me, Piglet's Pantry, Tiger, Leicester Garage Conversions, Pink Vehicle Leasing, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Moyer Wade Interiors, and our chosen charity, Memphis UK. We bring you the fans' views on the match each week, and your views matter to us. Join the fans' debate each match with us. Follow us at Leicester Fan TV.